Oh no, boys and girls, the weather report for August 5th, 2021. And look what happened. We have a headline. You want to talk about this, AJ? What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at an article from, I forget the name of the fine newspaper publication. It's either the Monroe Journal or the Conecuh County Report. But Mr. Dino got picked up for domestic violence allegations, allegedly. We have to say that, for allegedly slamming his former wife into the ground. So maybe he shouldn't have played those recordings of her screaming in pain to try and prove his innocence. I don't think it helped.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he went around posting a link to the audio recording of the incident as if it made him look innocent.
Oh my God. Like, he probably doesn't get it at all. He probably doesn't even get that he did something wrong.
No, he cannot admit that he did anything wrong or made a mistake.
For him, it was just, the Bible in action,
Yeah.
The man has to manhandle the woman in the Bible, right? What a jerk.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he posted $1,000 bond to walk out of jail. So they must have handcuffed him and marched him off. Oh God, I hope somebody had a camera. Please, somebody, I hope, had their cell phone on, and we have video of that. That would be cool.
Yeah, well, it would have been at DAL, and that's out in the middle of nowhere, so it would have had to have been somebody at DAL recording it, which I don't think anybody would have done.
Well, I don't know. I think I read something about somebody that went out there. Maybe it was on your channel or something, but there are a lot of people that probably aren't that pleased when they get out there, and they end up being put off by the whole cultiness of the place.
The people that live there certainly aren't happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, I did an interview that didn't actually pan out. It didn't come out because the person didn't want me to publish it, but it was somebody who worked very closely with Kent, and she said that when this person would be at the grocery store, they would say, "Oh, do you work at that dinosaur place?" And they'd be like, "Yeah," and they'd be like, "That place is a cult."
Yeah.
So the locals aren't happy about it.
Yeah. And right below that is some good news. Masks to be required in schools, wherever the hell this is. Where's this?
It's repped in Alabama. It's it's like by the Alabama and Florida border. It's sort of close to there.
Yeah.
So great part of the country. Just great.
So I went to Sam's Club and the Holiday Station today, and I wore a mask to both places. I wasn't wearing a mask for the last month because, it seemed like everything was in Minnesota. We went down below 100 cases and it looked like we were doing okay, but now we're back up to 900. But Florida is at 27 times that much because they're idiots. Fucking idiots.
There's a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he takes a big saw and he cuts Florida off of the country and it floats away. I think we need to do that IRL.
That might actually happen. I mean, I think that is actually in our future, basically. Florida becomes an island. and we give it to Cuba. Here,
I mean, it's shaped like a penis anyway.
it is. It is.
And what happened to Andrew? He came in and then bounced out.
I don't know. Where'd you go, Andrew? We're waiting for you. So we got a little bit of stuff from Standing for Truth yesterday. Went on Smokey's channel because he was offended by Rob from Sentinel Apologetics. Is that it?
That would be it. Yep.
Okay. And Rob from Sentinel Apologetics, I think, is either a theistic evolutionist or an old earth creationist. And he was apparently saying bad things about John Sanford. And so SFT comes in hot. And I thought we'd play a little bit of that today, if you don't mind, and then go over a few things. Like SFT did the same thing Otangelo did. He brought a paper, and it turns out the paper said just the opposite of what he was saying it was. And when he, hopefully I have that part clipped, but when he brings the paper, he said, yeah, you know, apparently you aren't up on the current research. This is 2021. This is a very interesting paper. And I think later it becomes obvious that he didn't read the paper.
Yeah.
Because paper disagrees with him.
Who has time to read? You know, I'm illiterate, so
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So
reading is for nerds.
Yeah.
But real quick, I would just like to highlight Erica and her generosity. So thank you, Erica, for doing that.
Yeah,
yesterday.
we linked that yesterday, and I told everybody to quit my show and go over to hers. So, as I normally do, I love advertising.
Yeah. So I like the idea of SFT coming in hot like a fighter jet.
Fruit beverage. Hey.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do these young Earth creationists have to be exposed for the same old garbage of, you know, presenting papers, misrepresenting stuff, presenting papers that don't even say what they're trying to say? You know, it's just over and over again. Where they get their information is from creationist sites or what, you know, it's all the same old bullshit.
Yeah, Eric Hovind created an alternative to Google that excludes non-younger creationist sites, so you can literally have an echo chamber.
Really?
Yeah, that was a while ago, but I've always thought that was really funny.
So they can feel safe.
Right.
They're sheltered from information that is more accurate than theirs.
I think it's a great idea. Like, you know, like a conservapedia. Like, I think there's a huge swath of the country that would benefit from a site where you can search, you know, is COVID real? And you just get a bunch of answers that say no. Actually, maybe that's not a good idea.
No. Anyway, so SFT is going on about mitochondrial DNA and the Y chromosome. And we'll get into that a little bit. There's a reason why he picks those two, and he stays away from basically the autosomal DNA, which is a lot clearer. Mitochondrial DNA and the Y chromosome are real special cases, and he kind of the creationists love to make hay out of them, and they've been corrected like umpteen times, and they keep spewing the same garbage. But SFT is a lying little preacher is what he is. And he is polishing his preachiness. And he's got this PowerPoint presentation, which keeps growing and growing. But you'll notice he uses the same slides over and over again. And he keeps referring to the Parsons paper from, I don't know, 1991 or something like that. The same shit over and over again, no matter how many times he's been corrected. And he manages to lie to his preachy crowd over there, and they never seem to come and listen to the other side. It just seems to be lost on them. So, like if Dr. Dan or Erica do a comeback on SFT, I think they go and they don't listen to Dr. Dan and Erica. They listen to what Standing for Truth does in his rebuttal video. which will come out a week after. So it's just kind of sad that people are that strongly, biased. And yet they're pointing at everybody else and claiming that everybody else in the world is biased.
Yep.
Yeah, we see the truth. You don't see the truth.
I'm literally the only person who isn't biased.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, they just don't want anything to threaten their beliefs, and
I don't know. I'm biased.
They just what am I trying to say? Comfortable in their own skin, I guess you'd almost say, or not strongly or comfortable in their beliefs enough to give it that much, I guess, criticism or that much scrutiny or whatever. They just want to believe.
All right,
I don't like my beliefs being challenged.
I just want to let you know I just successfully completed the crossword puzzle from the Monroeville, Alabama newspaper.
Good for you.
Moronville?
Moronville,
Moronville. Okay. Let's see how this works. See what I got.
That stuff, right?
Oh, look who's here. Good old Standing popped in. Hey, Standing.
Hey, Standing.
Hey, brothers, gentlemen, what's going on?
What's up? What's going on?
So we're just talking.
Why does Smokey have such a horrible voice?
I was kind of curious. I wanted to.
He smokes.
Oh, well, look, we have standing for purposes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what was the intent behind the comment?
I just want to real quick. Because you were kind of talking a lot there, and I'm not coming in here to be combative, and I do have faith that you'll know the answer to this question. I just find that you're kind of you do like to throw jabs at the YEC PhDs. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you know who recently spoke in the last year or two at the NIH National Institute for Health? Do you?
About 100 people. Okay.
Recall the name of the PhD?
No, I haven't followed.
He's talking like Sanford was the only one that spoke at the NIH in the last year.
This is a gotcha question.
Yeah.
Do you know what I had for lunch yesterday?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. It's like shit.
Oh, you don't?
That's kind of telling. I'm gonna actually screen share for Smokey. So
sure.
This is actually a younger creationist geneticist by the name of Dr. John Sanford. So he spoke. Are you familiar, Rob, with the NIH?
I'm familiar with his name, yeah.
Are you familiar with the show Sanford and Son?
Yeah. Okay, that's Michael Lynch, and that's not Sanford.
I'm familiar with Sanford and Son. What do you need to know?
How many seasons did it run? Oh, you haven't seen Sanford and Son. That's very telling.
So on the Peaceful Science site, which I will link in my description, they talk about Swami Das and a few other people talk about John Sanford at the NIH, and this Timothy Horton said he's the sad case of a once good scientist who became a born again and decided to scientifically justify his newfound literal Genesis fundamental beliefs. His well-known book, Genetic Entropy, has been almost universally rejected in actual scientific circles, and for good reasons. Among many fatal problems with his claims are: one, he started with the premise the human genome was created perfect 6,000 years ago and has been degrading ever since. One of the lines of scientific evidence he offered for his genetic degradation was the descending ages of biblical patriarchs. So in his book, he actually has a chart that he drew from the Bible where he got, the ages of the patriarchs that they mentioned. Let me share that in the description if I can get my shit together here.
Anyway, that's literally their whole evidence that for the 6,000 year number is just that list of ages. Like that's the whole basis of their beliefs. It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so, and I was wondering how much more. I mean, there must have been a lot of pushback because I know right at the end of his talk, a couple guys stood up and started asking him questions, and he, kind of dodged their questions pretty well. But I really don't understand why they even let him talk. I guess the reason is okay. There's some concern that the human genome, that we may be screwing ourselves by our the fact that we have totally sidestepped natural selection in a number of ways, and are worried, that there are, that we're doing something to our genome, and that's what Kondrashov's book is about. And at the end of his book, Kondrashov concludes that we don't know yet. And Kondrashov most certainly doesn't believe that the genome was perfect 6,000 years ago. He's mentioning the possibility that we are basically folding in genetic defects, and that it may hurt us at some point. And it's a concern, but that's for humans. Okay, we're talking about evolution, which covers all species. So they need to account for that, and they don't like to. They want to talk about humans. And they keep putting out this bullshit about autism and diabetes and a number of other diseases like cancer that are increasing. And if you look at the statistics for all those things, autism is increasing in the number of cases diagnosed, but there's no indication that it's actually increasing. Cancer has actually gone down since the 1980s when we put catalytic converters on our fucking muscle cars and quit smoking.
My first car had a catalytic converter.
It did. Mine didn't. Mine just had straight pipes. I don't even think I had a fucking muffler. Anyway.
I think he missed that, Scott, but I got it.
I think it went over his head. Yeah. You said catalytic converter.
Yeah.
So
did I say catalytic? Oh,
you said catalytic.
Yeah, I have a catalytic now.
Yeah. Well, a catalytic is a fine vehicle.
It is. Yes, I have a catalytic in the garage. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm not David P. Neff, just to set the record straight.
Yeah.
Although I don't think we've been seen in the same room together.
Yeah, but it's okay to give us money anyway. So I don't know.
I mean, if you want to send me money, I mean, you can go to my Patreon. But anyway.
Yeah. You have a Patreon, eh?
Yes, patreon.com/atheistjunior.
Ooh, I should have one of those. I should get one of those things. Okay, I'm going to play more.
So he was invited to speak at the NIH. He's a
Nobody knows why.
PhD. He's actually he's done the most study and research into human genetic degeneration and the accumulation of diseases in the human population and human genome. So he spoke on human genetic degeneration and mutation accumulation at NIH.
This guy's done a lot of research on, I think, on vegetables or corn or something, and he invented the gene gun. But as far as I know, he hasn't really done any research since then. So we lost AJ. I don't know where AJ went. Anyway, he's not doing any professional research in this field. It's just bullshit.
Now, obviously, the NIH is not a young Earth creationist organization, as you know. And even they acknowledge that the problem of mutation accumulation and accumulating diseases, every single year, thousands of new mutation-related diseases being added into the genetic database.
Because we're discovering new mutations. That's why so many are being added. Okay. No proof that all kinds of new ones are popping up, even though new ones do pop up. That's evolution.
We're discovering mutations and diseases and things.
Yep. I don't know. What else do I got here? Oh, here he shows.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Does he cite data like I know you can like count the number of diseases that people discover or genetic conditions that people discover, but along the backdrop of the genome itself, I mean, is there evidence that more like, are they comparing them to like 100 years ago or 200 years ago? DNA samples we can maybe obtain from then. Does anybody do that kind of study?
I haven't seen one. No. But,
yeah. Well, it seems like that would be a good idea.
Yeah, but
it would also, kind of give an indication too of, let's say he's right, but could those genetic diseases be caused by the use of synthetics and plastics and all the household chemicals and other chemicals we're exposed to?
Well, yeah, there's definitely new mutations coming along, but there's a lot of old ones that were, that are popping up, and then there are somatic mutations. But the entire medical community right now is all about finding out how disease works, right? I mean, we're putting all this money into it, and we're finding out, that there's epigenetic changes. There's that these transposons are causing problems, causing cancers. I mean, it's just. That's what we're doing now. Everything is focused on that. So of course it's going to look like we're finding tons more, because we're looking harder, and you're going to find flaws in the diamond, whatever. It's not a fucking diamond. It's a pile of junk. Anyway, let's see what he says here.
But what we can do is look to the 1,000 Genomes program. We can build a mitochondrial phylogeny, and guess what? There is an average of 20 to 25 mitochondrial DNA differences separating any two people. What that means.
Guess what? That's pedigree studies. And Dr. Dams handled this. So go over to his channel and take a look at how wrong Standing for Truth is about this, and how wrong Dr. Jensen is about this diagram. And he arranged this diagram to look a certain way, I think. And I don't know. They can explain to you why this diagram does not say anything about the fucking Noah's Ark or about 6,000 years. It's just the usual shit. Then we go to this. Okay, so this is where he pulls up a paper, and the rest of this.
Let's not get into the Neanderthals.
Pocket it out.
I want to stay on subject.
And they're not connected to what you just said, the out of Africa sort of model.
Listen, Neanderthals are human in every way, shape, and form. Okay, anybody who says they're not human is just out of date with the literature. This is a paper from 2021, literally just came out. I'm not sure if you guys have read it. Fascinating paper. Origins of modern human ancestry. Here we argue.
Okay, did you hear what he said? You guys aren't up on the current research. This paper just came out. Yeah. Fascinating paper.
That no specific point in time can currently be identified at which modern human ancestry was confined to a limited birthplace. Okay, there's data that's suggesting the out of Africa theory is not true. And that patterns of the first appearance of anatomical or behavioral traits that are used to define Homo sapiens are consistent with a range of evolutionary history. So what we're finding.
Well, isn't it interesting that just said consistent with the range of evolutionary histories?
Well, of course, when you're starting these secular
the
papers,
so-called latest paper is not a young Earth creationist paper. How
no, it's challenging. It's challenging the human origin story of humans coming out of Africa. That's the point. Is everybody likes to talk.
No, it ain't. Not at all. This paper has nothing to do. Well, we'll take a look at the paper, but the rest of this is Rob. Rob actually goes out and gets this paper. Rob from, what is it, Sentinel Apologetics?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. He goes out and gets the paper and he shoves it down SFT's throat. And SFT gets increasingly combative throughout. And I think it goes on for about an hour or so.
I'm going to open this paper. What's the author's name? Oh, Chris Stinger. Okay, the same guy that Fuzz is mentioning over here.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing: there are challenges right now.
Okay, now this right here, this little screenshot comes from an article that was done on this paper where they just clip a quote and then they got Sanford on the right, trying to make it look like, contrary to what many believe, neither the genetic or fossil record have so far revealed a defined time and place for the origin of our species. And the paper is about that.
For example, here's a quote on the origin of species. Contrary to many believe, neither the genetic
blah, blah.
Okay. Now, when we actually combine what the secular data is saying with the young Earth creation research from people like Dr.
Okay, if we combine what the secular data is saying with their perversion of the data and their Bible, then what do we get?
Dr. Carter, Dr. Nathaniel Jensen, and these mitochondrial and Y chromosome trees, phylogenetic trees, we can actually see that it's more consistent with an out of Babel story and model as compared to the out of Africa story. Because if the out of Africa story,
an out of Babel story,
if the out of course, humans came from Babel, not Africa.
Where's Babel located?
The Middle East. And the Middle East is actually the center of genetic diversity, so that makes sense. And that's why
where in the Middle East?
It's not in Africa. I don't,
the Middle East does include Africa, mind you. You have the Nile Delta, that's the Middle East.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is your position that roughly 70 to 200,000 years ago was, I don't know, are you saying that you're in agreement that the out of Africa theory has some major problems? I don't understand what you're...
No, I've always held to the out of Africa model.
Yeah, and I'm showing you that there's some huge problems with it.
And I'm suggesting that Genesis 2 then shows man migrating into the Persian Gulf region, which is Jeffrey Rose's point as well, based on his studies with respect to migration patterns that he's researched.
So, okay, but...
And that's, if you go along with the 200,000 year dating for the out of Africa model, humans go into the Persian Gulf oasis around 70,000 years, and then the flood happens around 13,000 years.
I understand. But here's the thing. You don't have 200,000 years, because here we only have a few thousand years max for mitochondrial DNA and the Y chromosome. And what's worse is I've been dying to ask you this question. Here's a secular paper. The Y chromosome, when it comes to the Y chromosome between the humans and chimpanzees, if I can find it here. Here we go. This is a great paper. I debated Dr. Ron Garrett on this.
Okay. So this is the Y chromosome thing. Now, the Y chromosome is a hot mess. And he makes the point that because the Y chromosome does not recombine, that basically it should evolve more slowly. And actually, that's not the case at all. In chimpanzees, it's found to mutate very rapidly. I think it has to do with their breeding structure. And there are other reasons why the Y chromosome is a hot mess. It has tons of duplicated regions. We have just now started to get really good sequencing data on Y chromosomes for primates. And we're finding that the chimpanzees and the bonobos are widely separated from us because their Y chromosome has all sorts of duplications and loss of genes and a bunch of other structures or a bunch of other issues. And this is expected. And standing for truth, the reason they go after the Y chromosome is because it's a hot mess, but they're saying, no, it's not. It's proof that we're not related to chimpanzees. So they kind of turn it on its ear, and they're lying. They're just totally lying about the Y chromosome. And the paper, this Hughes paper is the one he keeps referring to. I found some other new papers today, newer papers where they've done basically comparisons and talked about the evolution of the Y chromosome and why it is a hot mess. Why it keeps it has basically it kind of recombines with itself. It has these areas in the gene itself where it, because of the massive duplicates, it manages to recombine with itself and mutate all over the place. And I think the chances are that you'd find a wide range of variation within humans in the Y chromosome, and most certainly within chimpanzees. But Erica would probably know more about that. And I did invite you in, Erica. I sent you an invite. Anyway.
Chimpanzee and human Y chromosomes are remarkably divergent in structure and gene content. So, Rob, what we have here is every single human...
I'm trying to find the part where it talks about the paper.
Y chromosome with a few mutations. This is coming from secular literature to the human Y chromosome. So how in the world, Rob, do you explain the fact that the human or the chimpanzee Y chromosome is less than 35% dissimilar to the human Y chromosome? Mind you, every human...
If you read the papers, they'll explain it for you. standing for truth.
Yeah, I love that comment. And how do you explain? That's a typical Ontangelo comment. You need to explain this. You need to explain that. You know.
Look at this. Look at this. What the fuck?
But you have the paper to that.
Wait a minute. What was that?
By Dr. Rob Carter. He did a video on it, so he's my source for that one. Yeah, he's the one I had on the channel.
But you
did. Oh fuck! I can't catch it. But anyway, you saw that little illustration. That was beautiful. That's kind of science they do, right?
Yep.
You know, I think I have it. I don't have it here in a slide form now. But when it first did come out, yeah, we all read it in our group.
Okay,
I don't
hang on a second.
on the channel that's
but you have the paper to that. Were you able to gain access to the paper?
You know, I think I have it. I don't have it here in a slide form now. But when it first did come out, yeah, we all read it in our group. Me, John Maddox, Ron Matt, yeah.
Yeah,
but it's not easily accessible. No, why? What's the conclusion of the paper that you think?
Well, I'm sharing my screen.
You believe you read the paper?
No.
Because obviously this is the first time I'm opening the paper.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just accessed it through my academic institute. The only way you can access it is if you actually...
Okay, anyway. There's more. There's plenty more, but let's take a look.
Yep.
Okay, I think this is Chekova. Is this the one? Let me find the paper. Bergstrom, right? Was the paper?
Yeah. Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, we'll pull it up. Share screen. Chrome tab. No, window. Bergstrom. Share. Okay. So anyway, I'm not sure how that's gonna come out for us. Oh shit. Why'd you do that to me? Why'd you do that to me? Anyway, so here's the abstract that he read. You know, we argue whatever. And then down below, if you actually read the damn paper, they talk about what they're really talking about, and that's that there were a number of small groups that came out of Africa earlier, 210,000 years ago, and there is basically the human origins is kind of another hot mess of interbreeding and different groups that came out. But they say, let's see, within this framework, we argue that there's little empirical or conceptual reason to focus on models of a single point in time and space during which modern human ancestry originated. Now, when he read that abstract, he said, that shows that the out of Africa theory is in question. No, this paper doesn't question that at all. In fact, present-day genetic diversity in African groups and individuals is greater than any other part of the world, a pattern that was first observed in mitochondrial DNA. The model is now strongly supported by early fossils in Africa, by genomic evidence of interbreeding within archaic human groups outside of Africa. And then they have some fossils, and then Rob points out the zinger down here. So this is his paper to show you that out of Africa is being questioned, right? Where are we here?
Yep.
In any case, with the earliest generally accepted evidence of hominins outside of Africa at around 2 billion years, the fossil record strongly suggests that all human ancestors before this point, until a common ancestor with chimpanzees, lived in Africa. So there you go.
Yep.
A case of cherry-picking papers and misrepresenting and whatever.
Yep.
I'll link the title of this paper. You got to have like a university account to pull it down. I think there might be a PDF on this one. I'm not sure if you.
And it's a typical young Earth, tactic is that, they don't expect you to actually pull up the paper and read it.
Right.
In most cases, but Rob did it. And then when you do, these are, or if somebody actually does it, it's a very rare occasion. And then, SFT will just brush it off and just continue with his line of bullshit like it's no big deal,
Yep.
So
okay,
no humility whatsoever. It's just It doesn't matter to them. Like, you know, they're just gonna throw out their bullshit, take a bunch of spaghetti, throw it against the wall, hoping something sticks, and you know, they just don't care.
Yep. And let's see, there was an article too also that on this paper, I think, let's see, I went to the Monroe Journal, The Origin of Species, Science Daily. Okay. Yeah, I think this is one. I'll put some links here. Okay, anyway, I'm done. I got nothing.
Well, we got the whole crew in. We got, Dr. Dan, we got CRISPR, we got
we'll open it up for comments.
Erica, lots of
the link out.
Yeah.
Standing for Truth takes so much energy. He just rattles and rattles and you see that PDF that he was going through. It's just hundreds and hundreds of pages long now, and he's just got so much of this garbage. And he is just a crafted preacher. I mean, he has honed his craft as a preacher.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I have predicted this. I predicted this a year ago. This guy is starting a ministry. He's going to be Kent Hovind.
Yep.
And he's gaining steam like crazy.
He is,
you know, it takes a lot of energy to go against this guy because he just comes up with so much shit. It's just, I don't know. Anyway. Yep. So I'm hoping so what happened to AJ?
AJ was on his phone, I think, and his phone was dying. He said he'd try to get in a little bit. Maybe he was driving or he was out or something. I don't know. He didn't say, but he did say he was on his phone and it was dying. So, yeah.
And then we have Andrew. Origins of Modern Human Ancestry. Let's see. On Origin of Species. Science Daily had an article. Yeah, I think Science Daily did an article on that article. So I'll put that.
So I see you loved Standing for Poop's file there, his slides there when he was going through. That was his whole slide things, right?
Oh yeah, he's got he's got little pictures of animals jumping off the Mount Ararat or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, and God, you go over to his chat and they're just eating it up. Oh, good job.
I know. That's what I find is I go on his chat and just
Well, he says all the Bible words, so that's really comforting.
Yeah. And all the people that follow him, they none of them, they don't care about any of it. They just care about reinforcing their beliefs. They don't care what's true about it.
But there's got to be a few of them that are like
you hope so. Yeah.
I mean, this craziness of like even Smokey's addressed it recently that they have a literal interpretation of those first two books or the first book, and then for the rest of the Bible it's let's read it over and over again and understand the Hebrew and try to find the deeper meaning, right? But when it comes to Genesis, they want to read it like it's a goddamn like they're 6-year-olds.
Yeah.
They suddenly turn into school children when they read Genesis and everything else. And I think it has something to do with I don't know what the hell it's like. It's almost like they don't have enough faith that they want to somehow commandeer and turn science on its head and use science to prove God based on evolution, because they don't have the kind of faith that some of these old Earth creationists have.
Yeah. Like Erica just wrote it, insecure. They're insecure in their beliefs.
Yeah. It's a crisis of faith for them.
Yeah. And like I think that hopefully, like you said, hopefully there are some within that group, and probably your best hope would be for maybe younger people, right? The older people are probably just set in their ways, and they're not going to change, most likely. So hopefully any younger people might say and take a second thought and say this is bullshit, or hopefully. But But that's typical, right? You take advantage of older people, right?
Yeah.
Typical. That happens a lot. You know? Older people are taken advantage of when it comes to money and donations and things like that. They get talked into stuff very easily.
I found this guy on my walk yesterday.
Oh, cool. Oh my God. That is a pretty cool looking thing.
And he was big. I think it's a cicada. Is that what a cicada looks like?
I'm not a brain bug, so I don't really know.
I think it's a bug. Yeah, that's a cicada.
Yeah, it's definitely a bug. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bug. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing here. But anyway, my son yesterday took me for a walk and he ruined me. He kept throwing the ball down into the valley and I kept having to chase it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I am so sore.
So he took you off your leash. That's good.
Oh, he took me off. Yeah, he let me chase the ball. So yeah, this is this guy's nose. So I zoomed in on his nose. And this is the lower magnification, so I didn't go to the high one. There's his eye. He's pretty big. He's got to be 1.5 inches long. Yeah. And I thought he was a piece of poop, and then I looked and I said, "Oh no, that's not a piece."
You thought it was standing? Really?
Yeah, I thought it was standing. Yeah. It was standing. Oh. I don't know. Anyway, I got him, and I got some interesting weeds, which
does kind of look a little bit like standing, possibly. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we should do a DNA test on him. Check his Y chromosome maybe and see if it's something.
My son and my ex-wife are always yelling at me because they take me out and walk me, and I'm always stopping to look at every damn plant. It's like, look at that, look at that. And
come on, let's go. Yeah.
And then I grab them and stuff pieces in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know, I collect them. And on the way out, I told my son, I said, I don't think I can make it back to the car. I think
because you're weighed down with bugs and grass and.
Well, yeah, and I was so tired. I said, I think you're going to have to carry me. And he says, well, if you keel over, I'm just going to take your keys and. And he said some giant will come along and scoop you up and put you in his pocket.
Yeah.
Take you home. Look at you. Yeah.
That's funny.
Here's his legs, which I try to zoom in on. And you have to, when you're at high magnification, you have to keep messing with the focus in order to see different parts of it. So you have to focus on different parts of it. Yeah. And then I zoom in and hopefully turn up the intensity a little bit. But this is what I do.
Yeah.
What was that Twilight Zone episode where that little kid was killing ants with a magnifying glass?
Oh, yeah.
Or was that Outer Limits? And then at the end of it, this giant magnifying glass comes up behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He was a little bully type kid, It's like, that was pretty dark. I think about those things when I catch bugs. Like I'll run outside to feed my raccoons and I'll jump into this giant plastic bag and they'll close it up and put it in the freezer. That'd be the end of me. That would be a fitting end for me, I think. I think I'd go.
Do you go right out there with them, with your raccoons?
Oh yeah.
The
mama now. Yeah. The mama brings the babies up on. Like I've got a piece of fence that's right by this window, so they can come up on. Because I have the cat fence covered on top for birds, so the birds can't get eagles can't kill my cats. So anyway, they jump up on that fence and they jump up on the window, and they wait for me. But now the mama brought her 4 little babies with her up, so all 4 of them are out there, and they all come up to the window when I put my hand up on the window. It's really weird. And then I go out and feed them, and the mama runs under this. I've got this old coffee table out there made out of pellets. It's real sturdy, and it's got concrete on it, and it's got a tarp over it, right? So it's like a curtain. And she sticks her nose out from under that tarp, and I throw her a whole bucket of food. So she eats better than anybody else. So, but now one of her babies got in there last night, and I heard her rah 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 fighting with it. It was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like it so much. That's the end of that one.
Like I said, I grew up with raccoons when I was younger, but it's been many, many years since I've dealt with raccoons.
Yeah, I'm
They were
thinking
a lot
about
of, lot of fun. Yeah, they're
I'm
amazing.
thinking about getting a mobile camera and going out there and just sitting there and feeding them and doing some recordings. So I might get more. I might actually get some subs on my channel that way.
I know you would. I'm telling you. Well, look at that other guy that does it with the hot dogs there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 8 million views or some damn thing.
Yeah. Yep.
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 So we don't have a lot today, do we? Maybe Andrew does. Andrew, do you have anything to say about that? Did you listen to Standing for Truth come in? And
a little bit.
Yeah. What'd you think of that whole deal? He was doing a lot of but stuff, and he doesn't normally do that. Normally he's more polished.
Right.
So the guy kind of got under his skin. And I think it's kind of amazing that these other Christians who believe in evolution piss them off more than we ever will.
Mm-hmm.
They really get under their skin. Pretty bad. It's an interesting grass that I found.
Grass.
Yeah. Grass. It's out of focus. It's coming into focus.
Yeah, SFT, right? He doesn't want any fellow Christians bad mouthing the young earth, right?
Yep.
That really pisses him off, yeah. More so than atheists, right? For sure, yeah.
Kind of shows how remote and isolated the young earth movement is, and maybe that's why they don't like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it revolves around that fundamentalist Baptist stuff, and it kind of came out of the 1920s, even though they insist that creationism goes way back.
Yeah.
Well, it does and it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, why do they want to die on that hill?
Oh my God, I was just about to say those exact words. It's what a hill to die on. Like, and the thing of it is like, look at SFT, he picked that one talking point and tried to pound that into Rob yesterday, but it's like, look at the whole picture, right? I mean, you have to deny everything. You have to fight, the age of the earth, the age of the universe, the starlight problem and this and that, like just so much that you have to battle. Like, you're just one tiny little talking point here, SFT. What about all the other crap? I know he tries to tackle a lot of that shit on his channel, but it's ridiculous.
So, Andrew, what do you got to say for us?
Trying to find out now. Keep talking for a few minutes.
Oh, but I have nothing.
Talk about socks.
I was going to mute and try to find something.
Oh, well, I have a topic. I'm just trying to find something to demonstrate it.
Where is Scott when I need him?
I'm very disappointed that little.
You called my name?
Little Pee-Pee didn't seem to stick around. I made one comment in the.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's probably still lurking. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think he's scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
We scared him off in our presentation yesterday.
Yeah.
He hasn't had a word to say about that yet. He's probably cooking up a meme.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Hey, Ian. Hi, Ian. In the chat. Ian finally woke up.
Good to have you in the chat, sir.
He finally got out of bed.
It's never really a complete experience until Ian Chen has shown up in our side chat.
Yep. I was going to try to find something, so I'm going to mute for a second. Can you guys have a conversation?
I would love to have a conversation.
Come on with David.
Okay. Well, Daniel made a good comment. The age of the earth is irrelevant in regards to God's existence. I agree. So
tell that to our white seers.
Yeah, tell that to the young earth creationists. Why do they bother going down that route then? Why do they try to die on that hill? The other thing that Rob pushed a little bit on during that conversation is he doesn't think it's biblical either. He's kept asking, standing for, where does it say this in the Bible? Where does it say that, and it seemed like Standing just brushed it off, like wouldn't even go there. He just wanted to stick to that paper, and Rob, I think, made him look foolish, but.
The foolish man.
Yeah. When he's Standing he wouldn't, I don't think he just kept brushing the Bible off. He didn't want to go there with Rob. Rob would have destroyed him on that too, I'm sure, because Rob's pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah, it's hard to make people talk about things that they don't want to because they know they probably look irrational or just come off looking bad.
Yeah.
Guys, look at my grass. Isn't my grass beautiful? Can't you see God in that grass?
I can.
Over there in Minnesota, it looks like the grass is greener.
It is green.
It's always greener on the other side, Scott. Always.
The other side of the country too, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's there's kind of a whirl of seeds that come out of this. Like this grass is about maybe 3 feet high, and then this little intersection here where all these leaves come out. It's got like a spray of leaves, and then it's got a spray of seeds, which is pretty cool. So.
Did you check that for bugs this time, or was it full of bugs?
I just gotten used to it.
Yeah.
Bugs are going to crawl. They're going to crawl.
That's natural revelation right there, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's what you call natural revelation. So get used to the bugs. God made it all. They made all the bugs too. So you got to embrace
Zoom
that.
in on that.
There you go.
I love these junctions. I love thinking about how they form, but how plants are neat because they do embryogenesis throughout their entire lives, whereas humans, or mammals just do it in the beginning, but plants just keep creating, and it's really very pretty. I don't see any bugs. There's a bug.
And the plants, my garden did really shitty this year. It's doing terrible.
Yeah, well, water.
No, we had. It's been very wet around me this year. Not hot, really. It's been a cool and wet summer, really, for the most part. And I don't know, I don't know. I just don't have a green. I don't have a green thumb at all. But I've always done okay with my garden. But this year has been like the worst year. So next year I need to do something. I think I need to rejuvenate my soil. Maybe I need to talk to some of you chemistry people and how. Yeah, I got to put crap in my. I may just get some more loam or something from. The landscape place.
You need to talk to a fisherman and get yourself some big old carp and throw them in there.
Yeah, I did that this year. I put some actual fish. I went down and caught a bunch of fish. And I was thinking about doing that once the season's over, once the garden's gone, go catch a bunch and bury them in there and let them decay over the winter, until next year. So put a ton in there. Think that'd work good?
Yeah. Sure. Well, what you got to do, plants, you got to mess with the dirt. Because soil, like when you're watering your garden, and then it dries out, what happens is it forms these tunnels that go vertically. They run down, and all the water kind of drains through the tunnels, and it basically locks up a lot of the roots so they don't get a lot of oxygen. So what you got to go out there, you got to keep breaking the soil on the top and keep messing with your plants. They like to be, like some people would think, if I give my plants attention, they know I love them. And they psychically communicate with me, and they grow. Yeah, bullshit. If you get your fingers down in the dirt and keep messing with them,
right,
that produces.
I was doing that, and then I stopped because I thought I've always done that. Yeah, always kept it weeded. Keep all the weeds out, and always turn the soil around it. Just gently, not deep, so you don't disturb the roots. But I don't know. My plants they just didn't do good. My tomatoes did terrible this year. And also a bunny got in my garden once because my little granddaughter left the gate open on me. I didn't realize it, left it out, left it open overnight. The bunny got in, ate my zucchini. Ate all the leaves off the plant, so it killed them all. So they didn't produce any
zucchini.
Yeah, just the leaves.
I've never heard of that.
Came and ate the leaves. Yeah,
I'm
not sure. It could have been. I also have a woodchuck that comes in the yard a lot, so it was either the woodchuck or I got bunnies and woodchucks around.
Usually they won't mess with that stuff. So,
but they ate the leaves, which they'll do. I think it was the bunnies that did it. But anyway,
I think I want to just play a little clip here from something horrifying.
Oh,
something scary.
Horrifying for sure. This guy.
Something very, very scary.
I want a school teacher teaching creation science. They can't even teach you how to read. Why are they going to teach something that they hate? And yes, they do. Most of them do hate this. Because they're pagans. They're anti-God. Their religion is critical theory. Their religion is woke. They're not going to teach another religion. If they do, they're just going to mock it. Right? This is not hard. What I want to have happen is for public schools to cease to exist. That's what I want. What I want to have happen is for public schools to cease to exist. That's what I want. What I want to have happen is for public schools to cease to exist. That's what I want.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep. This is the kind of shit. And his point is that all teachers in all public schools across this entire country are pagans and they're woke and they want to teach critical theory.
They're woke, critical pagans.
Is he talking
the
about?
worst combination?
Yeah. What is he talking about?
He is.
I don't know, but anybody with their collar button that tight and hair that short, I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet you he's wearing one of those swastika sleeve bands just below camera.
Yep. I think he does have one of those. Yeah, he just recently shaved his head and he, said, "Oh, it's because it's hot." Well, I don't know about that. I think he just wants to fit in.
Yep.
Because when he goes to the rally, the whatever fucking rally he goes to. Anyway, scary dude. Scary.
Yeah, he is definitely scary.
Spooky, scary skeleton.
That's Sal's best buddy, right? Those two.
Yeah, that's Dork-Off.
Yep.
Doofus and Dork-Off.
Yep.
That whole video, I'll link that video. That whole video is kind of if you listen to it, the racism just like creeps out of it oozes out of the wounds in his fucking soul, and just gets all over you. And the whole time he's saying, "I'm not a racist. Darwin's a racist," right? It's like,
do you see what wrong making this?
No, no, really, I'm not a Nazi. Oh, fucking A.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just perfect.
Yeah,
man. Anyway,
I haven't been keeping up with Sal for a little while.
Sal's been a little quiet. I think maybe he's Well, they may have his church people at the McLean Bible Church probably have him on a stake somewhere.
Yeah,
roasting him.
Holy shit, I know.
He probably went too far.
I think he did. Yeah.
Smokey, come in here and debate me on common ancestry.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll call this Woke Dork-Off. I'm not gonna even mention his channel name. So Woke Dork-Off. There's the video that I just played is available in my description. Anyway, did you find your shit, Andrew? Are you ready?
I kept looking, but I couldn't find anything interesting, so I guess I'll just talk about it.
Good.
Sorry.
That's good. That's fine. Educate us, young man. Educate us.
I think someone's echoing. Or maybe not. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yes, StreamYard does that occasionally. I don't know why.
Well, my Apple Watch dinged a notification. I didn't know if you thought that was it or not.
No.
Oh. Yeah. So kind of what I wanted to talk about was the concept of you. Everyone's probably heard this. The idea in astronomy. The idea in astronomy of dark energy. So everyone here has heard of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I was reading
the
first comment. What was the question?
Pay
I said
attention,
you've
Scott.
heard of
I apologize. I apologize.
You've heard of dark energy, the concept of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So basically, what I wanted to talk about was the main piece of evidence for dark energy, which by the way, I should probably first explain to the audience what dark energy is for. So basically, it's some kind of energy component or just something in the universe that's causing the expansion of the universe to increase over time. The rate of expansion is speeding up, and that's kind of what dark energy is for. Now, most people have heard of the primary piece of evidence for dark energy called based on type 1a supernovae, where you look out into space and you see these supernovae explosions, and you track their known luminosity with their apparent luminosity based on how far the light has traveled to get to you, because the light kind of spreads out over time. That's how we measure distance. And basically, when you do that, based on the supernova results, you find that, in fact, the universe in the past was expanding more slowly than it is today. Now, why does that? Well, that kind of goes towards an accelerating expansion, because think about it, it was expanding more slowly in the past than it is today. That means it's expanding at a faster rate now. And when you do the calculation, you actually find that the rate of expansion is increasing over time. So every second, the expansion rate of the universe is getting faster and faster and faster. And so that's the first piece of evidence. This was first discovered in 1998 by two independent teams. They both found the same result. They won the Nobel Prize in 2011. But there's also two other pieces of evidence. The second piece of evidence is the fluctuations, the temperature fluctuations in the cosmic microwave background, which indicate that the universe is geometrically flat, and we've actually measured the amount of regular matter and dark matter, and it's nowhere near enough to account for the universe being at the critical density needed for it to be geometrically flat. And that means that there must be something else out there. And when you do the calculations again, you find that about 5% of the energy budget of the universe needed for it to be at the critical density we observe. 5% is baryonic matter. That's the matter we're composed of. About 25% is dark matter. And the rest, the other 70%, is this dark energy, whatever it is. So that's the second piece of evidence. And the final piece of evidence actually is kind of by itself would, even if we didn't have the supernova results, by itself, this piece of evidence called baryon acoustic oscillations would show that there must be some kind of cosmic acceleration going on. And basically what this is looking at is you're doing large scale galactic redshift surveys, and you're looking at the scale at which galaxies cluster throughout the expansion history of the universe. And since you have kind of the details are a little complicated, but basically you have this kind of region of a certain size that you know must have been released based on the fluctuations in the CMB, which you can actually think of as just a bunch of really high dense sound waves that are all interfering with each other to create the pattern that we call the cosmic microwave background. And what you do is you actually find that at the moment of recombination, there was a certain size of these acoustic waves that could have been frozen in time, basically in the light of the CMB, and we have that size now. And now we can do that. We can match it to how big the size should be based on the distribution of galaxies, how much the galaxies should cluster based on the size if the universe has expanded by such and such amount. And what you find is that it hasn't, these bubbles of galaxy clustering have actually expanded faster and faster throughout the expansion rate of the universe. So that's an independent piece of evidence that cosmic acceleration and dark energy is necessary besides the supernova results. I don't know if any of that made sense. I'm still trying to figure out the details of it, but
do you have an article on that, or do you have links for, or is that just a collection of observations from a lot of things?
I just had an article open, but I closed it, unfortunately. But yeah, mostly from different sources.
Yeah, I don't usually ask for a link.
Yeah. Now, which is it? Do they think is it dark matter or dark energy they think possibly could be increasing? It's dark matter, is it?
Well,
possibly,
do you mean the energy density per unit volume? Like,
yeah, I believe so. I mean, I know they've been trying to map a lot of that stuff out.
Because the amount of regular and dark matter is staying the same, because you can't create energy from nothing. But basically, as far as we can tell, dark energy seems to be some kind of substance inherent to space-time itself. And so as you create more space, you have more dark energy, whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So yeah, the energy contribution of dark energy is actually increasing with time. So
yeah,
billions of years from now, eventually it'll be 99% dark energy in total, and only 1% matter and dark matter.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And in fact, this has only been going on for the past few billion years, actually. So this is actually, relatively speaking, a recent shift in the energy balance of the universe towards this accelerating expansion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird that it was slowing down at first, but now, as far as we can tell, for right now at least, and maybe forever into the future, the universe will be accelerating into the future.
Yeah.
So we kind of live at a good moment to see where this shift is taking place, basically.
Yeah, which is probably not a good thing for the universe, but it's
Yeah.
We only live for a very at least for myself, I only live for a very short period of time, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but yeah, it's not a very bright.
I don't know if this. I don't know if this helps, but we really don't know what dark energy is at this point. I've repeatedly stressed, because it's one of the biggest mysteries in physics right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And until we have a model of what exactly it is, we can't really say with confidence the future evolution of the universe. We have a simplest case model that we call the cosmological constant. Look it up, all you nerds out there. And it seems to be that, but we don't yet have the resolution necessary to say, because whether or not it's a cosmological constant is determined by something called the equation of state. if it's -1, then it's a cosmological constant. It's perfectly constant over time. But the uncertainties are still such that we don't actually know if it's exactly -1. If that makes sense.
Yep. Well, I'm hoping they're gonna figure that out in your
Yeah,
lifetime. I don't. You know, you're still a young man, so you got a lot of years left. So hopefully they're gonna, you know, that'll get at least a start on figuring that out. I don't expect it in my lifetime because I don't have very much time left myself, and Speed is even worse off. So Speed's probably gonna die. Probably what, next week, maybe? Yeah.
Well, I think later today.
Yeah, maybe so.
Don't say
Feeling
that.
pretty, feeling pretty bad.
Yeah, no hope for Speed.
Yeah, the old ticker is starting to, hop around.
So, and I'm probably gone the week after, somewhere around there. So
yeah.
So
they
Speed,
found. Go ahead.
Tell me why you hate the Big Bang Theory.
Why I hate the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, you said you don't like physics.
Oh no, I love physics. It's that I don't know enough about it to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah. Other than that, I know that asking what came before the Big Bang or saying stupid shit like something from nothing is just inherently wrong. I can't stand people asking the question what came before the Big Bang. I don't like the word Big Bang. I like expansion. Big expansion.
Everyone.
I love when
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I love when the Christians call it an explosion. I love that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
I have a couple of intuitions about it. One of them has to do with it just seems like on the other side of a black hole is a Big Bang, right? An expansion on the other side of a black hole. And now they discovered these ultra massive black holes recently. Have you heard about those? They're like way big. I mean, it's like they're not super black holes; they're ultra massive. It is possible that somehow the entire universe, or a large part of it, will end up in a black hole, and that becomes another kind of physics on the other side. And the other intuition is that when you look at 4D space time, when you look at from whatever time.
So real quick, just for the audience's sake, to put how massive these black holes are into perspective, so take the mass of the sun, which is about 300 or so thousand times the mass of the Earth. So take the mass of the sun and multiply that on average for these ultramassive black holes by a factor of about 10 billion or more.
Yeah.
And that's how freaking massive these objects are. They're the most massive single objects.
This is my hypothesis, right? In the future, they say, as far as we know, possibly there could be nothing left but black holes eventually, right? And eventually those.
There's a bug.
So
see the bug?
my hypothesis is that possibly in the future, right, you got nothing but black holes, possibly, real massive ones, maybe far bigger than what we have today, right? And as of today, you see, we see merging black holes. That happens, and it's happened many times, right? Possibly in the future. So say you have like two massive black holes merging, right? You have that, and they say that's the most agenic force in the universe, as far as we know.
In terms of just the amount of energy it puts out in gravitational waves,
right?
It's basically, I don't know if it's equivalent to or more than. I'm just gonna say more than. It's equal to or more than. All the stars shining in the universe right now.
Right. So you think about that, right? Yeah. So you think about that scenario, right? And we see that, we've seen that, or whatever, and that is happening now, or it has happened. So think about it in the future. Maybe there's possibly a condition that'll eventually come where 3 or 4 of them massive black holes converge all at the same time, and maybe that's the amount of energy it takes to cause a Big Bang, right? I mean, maybe that's kind of my hypothesis, possibly. You know.
Yeah. And the other thing, okay, the other part of the intuition is that with 4D space-time, basically, there was no start. It's more like a bubble, or like if you imagine some shape in a higher dimension, right? That's what we're looking at. That's what we perceive and where we live in this 4D space-time. And for some reason, we move along through time. But if you look outside of that, you're obviously, it's like, okay, if you have a piece of paper, okay, and you've got 2 dimensions there, right, on a piece of paper, and if something comes from the 3rd dimension, basically it's not going to intersect that paper until it does. And if it's not intersecting the paper, so this idea of what's out there has to do with geometry, and it has to do with geometry that we are not intuitively capable of understanding easily. So the only way to approach this is with mathematics. And if I had a life to get to physics, that's what I would do, is I would look at differential geometry and head out in that direction, and head out into ideas like geometry of infinite dimensions. You know, we have 4D, we have 11 dimensions. We could be embedded in infinite dimensional geometry. I mean, and all of this could be folding together.
General relativity is pretty hard. The equations are pretty hard to solve. I mean, like, you have entire courses devoted on how to solve this type of mathematics, because, I mean, you take the one equation and it looks nice and simple, but actually it involves what's called tensor mathematics, and embedded within this equation are actually matrices that give rise to 10 other differential equations that you have to solve independently, but also kind of at the same time. So it's really difficult to find solutions, hence why we have to use supercomputers nowadays for stuff like this.
And you all heard about this, right? The new signal from Proxima Centauri. They found a signal they can't explain.
Oh no! Running tonight. They're coming for you.
I think I heard about it.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like this buzz pops up every once in a while, and then it turns out to be nothing.
Well, that's what they said in the article, and then they said, but yeah, we can't explain it, but you know, it's not aliens, but we can't explain it, so we don't know.
Right. It's never aliens.
We can't explain it. Therefore, God. It's God calling us.
This one's only 20 light years away. So,
but Speed, you have to explain it. You have to.
Proxima Centauri isn't 20 light years away.
I think was this the one? Near star system. I thought it was 20 light years.
It's more like 4.5 light years away.
Oh, they said the signal was coming from 20, I thought. Okay, 4.2 light years. Okay. So in 8 years, we could send a message back, and we could ask them, what do you like to eat?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the first question we should ask them.
Yeah.
You know, because we want to be goddamn sure it ain't us.
Yeah. I'm ordering DoorDash. Do you want something? We'll pick you up something.
Pick you up some human race.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, man.
My son spotted that yesterday. He's always tuned into that stuff.
Hey, here's I have a random other fact to share. I can just keep spewing out random physics facts.
Go ahead, keep going. We're good with that. We're good with that.
Spew your atheist talking points, please.
I know. Just nothing but garbage. Keep throwing that spaghetti at the wall. Some of it's bound to stick.
Yeah. So here's something counterintuitive. Okay, actually no. I'm gonna have you guys guess first. What do you think is the most efficient way in the universe, or the most efficient process in the universe for converting mass into energy? I'll give the panel 3 guesses.
What process for converting mass into energy?
What's the most efficient means of converting mass into energy that we know of in the universe?
Nuclear fusion. Is it fusion or the other one?
Nope. try again.
Magic?
No.
That
I
was
said that we know of.
Okay.
It has something to do with either a pulsar or a neutron star.
Nope.
Right? No?
Black holes.
Black holes. Okay.
Yes. Yep. Creo got it. It's because the gravity, or I should say the curvature of space-time around a black hole, or especially a rotating black hole, because if the black hole is rotating, it literally drags space-time around with it in the axis of its rotation. And when that happens, basically the matter falling into it, kind of orbiting and then slowly falling into it, is dragged along at such speed that any other matter it collides with, it creates immense friction and heats up to billions, maybe even trillions of degrees. And in fact, I watched a video about this actually for a non-rotating black hole. Okay, actually, let me put this into perspective. For nuclear reactions like fusion and fission, you can only get to slightly less than 1% of mass to energy conversion.
That's right. Yeah.
For a non-rotating black hole, you can get up to about 6 or so percent. For a rotating black hole, when it's rotating really, really fast, get this, you could convert up to 40 or so percent of something's mass into energy. And he kind of used the example of cats and how you'd only need like 2.5 cats throw it into a black hole in this spiral into it, and you could power Norway for a year. So you wanna power the world for the next years or so? Throw stuff into a black hole.
There you go. Yeah.
Boom.
So did you check out the video that I sent you? You ever watch that guy, Anton Petrov? You ever watch his videos?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of controversial stuff in there, but I did kind of skim through that video, and I don't know. I can't remember what I was thinking about at the time.
No, he covers current news really well, and I think he does it in a pretty unbiased way.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too.
But he covers everything.
A lot of recent, a lot of new, up to date stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
New
Now somebody's got to come up with a link. So because I've got an alien. I've got an alien on screen here.
No, I read the title, Andrew, and I didn't actually catch the video, and I was like, oh, that looks really good. So I gave you the link yesterday for it, and I didn't actually even see it. But he does all the little short videos, and he does some really good stuff, I thought. But all right, do you want me to post the link for the?
His channel. To his channel.
Hold on.
I can't remember. And I'd have to search through my history. Oh, there's also another really, really good site that I would like to post a link to. It's called something Ninja. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Bio Ninja.
What is that?
Bio Ninja.
I think it might be. Hang on a second here. Let me see.
Anyway, enough about physics. Let's rant about creationists some more.
I've got them in my history. Okay, hang on, Sydney. Okay, Sydney Winston. Ninja Nerd. Ninja Nerd.
I've never heard that one.
So Ninja Nerd is he's just wonderful. So let me play the beginning of his video. Stop this screen.
Is it animated?
No, it isn't.
No.
But
you say yes, and then you say no.
Well, sort of. You'll see what I mean if you'll just listen. I got to mute.
No, Speed. I don't want to listen. I want answers.
Answers in atheism.
What?
Okay, so I'm going to mute because.
No sound.
No sound, Speed. It was. hearing a little. Oh, nope.
Silence.
All right, Speed. I posted the link to that in the private chat. There. If, I don't. What did you want to? Do you want to put it in your description or something? That's
Yeah,
just one. That's one of his videos. I think that was the one from yesterday. I think about the black holes.
Yeah, I was talking about Ninja Nerd while I was muted. He's I think he's a doctor, and he teaches all sorts of medical topics, and he has a big playlist on COVID that I want to get to, but he's got so many others. I mean, he's just got tons and tons of playlists that are really cool. Yeah.
Do you know if Smokey is around still?
Smokey is.
He is?
He was.
He was here. Yeah.
Yeah, I posted a link. I thought maybe he'd come in.
Smokey, I want to debate you.
You want to debate him?
Oh, you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. Is this the YouTube channel?
He's probably in bed right now.
He was up all night.
He was. Yeah, they did a stream all night long.
That makes sense.
Plus, he did another stream this afternoon, I think, too, or earlier today.
So this site is Anton Petrov. He's the physics guy and cosmology guy. And Andrew, I think you should watch all of his stuff. And along with Sabine Hofstetter. You watch Sabine Hofstetter,
right? Sometimes.
Okay. Yes, she's pretty cool too. She gets a little.
I don't watch all of the popular physics channels.
Yeah. Anyway, I have some advice for you, Andrew.
Okay.
Road to Reality by Roger Penrose. Okay. Probably one of the best books written for what you want to do in physics and mathematics. And it really is hard to get through his Pythagorean theorem part. But later on, when he gets into Hilbert spaces and things like that, he does just an excellent job of explaining. I think it's about 900 pages. It's probably the most worthwhile book for laymen that I've ever seen. Yeah. Roger Penrose is brilliant.
Wow, so, that's good. Yeah.
I would love to have a life to give to physics, but I don't.
Yeah. So. I don't know if I asked you this, Andrew. What are you thinking for your major, possibly? Do you know? You decided on that?
I've decided what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah.
Oh, you asking Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's still between evolution and cosmology.
Yeah.
I can't.
I think I asked you that. So interesting. Yeah, I think I asked you that a while back. But
yeah.
Those are great. Both of them are great.
I agree. Hence why I chose them.
I love physics or cosmology. I like that. It's one of my favorite things, even though I haven't got the brains for it, but I find it the most fascinating for me.
You can do anything if you put your I'm not going to say imagination. You can do anything if you put your rational mind to it.
Yeah, but I'm too old, though. Too old.
Well, then invent a time machine. Yeah,
that would be great.
A personal time machine would have to change yourself, not just the time for everyone.
Oh, so okay, Roger. Hold
sorry.
on. Ron Neckedness mentioned Roger Penrose, Shadows of the Mind. Do not read that book. Do not read anything Roger Penrose says about the mind or consciousness. He's full of shit. But when it comes to physics, Roger Penrose is everything. Yeah. It says that he needs to stay in his goddamn arena and just stop with the fucking quantum consciousness bullshit.
Yeah. It's too bad his cyclic universe thing didn't really pan out.
Yeah, that one was really weird. You know, the universe keeps expanding, but it expands into to another universe. It's like another universe. It's just, that intuitively, that one struck me as wonderful. So.
Yeah. And he didn't develop that with what's his name, Hawking, right? I know those two were partners with the black hole stuff, right? But not
not on this, I think.
Yeah, that was all Penrose himself, right? Yeah. Yes.
So I guess. Yeah, like Midnight says, I'm real close-minded about this quantum stuff, but and there's a really good reason for it. It's because when you look at when you look at neural networks and when you look at what neurons do in the brain, combined with what you sense from your body and the world, that's all you need to know about consciousness. Consciousness can be explained at that level of resolution. You do not need to go down to some fucking bullshit inside of microtubules and come up with some quantum woo crap to explain the mind. The mind is fully explained just by the anatomy of the brain and networks in the brain. And after you read enough about that, then you can go down and play around with some quantum stuff and try to make a connection. But there is no good connection that they've made. That's all they can come up with is, maybe this quantum stuff adds up and creates some kind of a field. And it's like, well, what kind of a fucking field? And why don't you measure it for us?
Yeah,
and show us that it varies along with your conscious perception. And they have not done that, as near as I can tell.
What about if we're trying to say, when we say quantum, it just means on or off. It doesn't know yet. It's not actual quantum, like, to that scale, like what you're thinking of. It's just like the neurons don't know what on or off for each other and stuff.
Well,
it's not like it's like a quantum state, not an actual quantum effect thing.
Well, the thing is that neurons are, kind of on or off, but it's also analog, and it also has to do with signal spikes. So like if you're seeing something, one neuron will keep spiking in a certain pattern. So it's sort of over time, but that is at a different resolution than any quantum effect. Any quantum effect you're going to have on a microtubule or on a calcium channel at a synapse is going to be far too small in resolution to have anything to do with cognition.
That's why I was saying it was something different. It wasn't that quantum scale that you're thinking of. It's just a quantum state that when I said last 2 weeks ago or something about quantum brain or a quantum state in the brain.
Well, yeah, all chemistry is quantum mechanics, basically. So, I mean, it's there and, it has an effect. But whether or not it has this additive, cumulative effect that they're looking for, they're looking for information encoded inside of one neuron. They're looking for a complex of information. And that's the wrong resolution. The information that's encoded in one neuron is simply these spikes or firing or not firing. I mean, they either fire enough to turn the next neuron on or they don't. And we do not need any quantum. We don't need stuff at the quantum resolution to explain cognition at all. We think way too much of our minds. We think it's like some woo fucking wild shit, and it's not. It's a lot simpler.
Dessel's coming after you, Speed. He's coming after you hard now.
Uh-oh. What's Dessel saying?
He says everything you guys have said is wrong, but we know that Dessel is wrong, so that means everything we said is right, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
You just proved it, Dessel. You proved it. Thank you.
Anyone know if CRISPR is still around?
Oh my God, Ellen Wu crap! Oh, he went after Ellen. You son of a bitch! Damn you, Dessel.
Dessel, you don't go after Alan Watts.
Unfortunately, Andrew, I think when we finished up with Standing for Poop, they all left us. I think possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna shoot her in the head.
They love that.
I was gonna,
but yeah.
Topdawg.
Before we go, I had like videos I was gonna show, or not show, but just talk about, or
you
just
had
share. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, where are the aliens? That one.
The first one is the largest black hole from. In a nutshell, I can't pronounce it.
Oh.
And then,
I don't
where
know
are
if
the aliens?
Did I put that one in the description? I thought I put that in the description. So, do you want to talk about it, or
no? Just sharing them. I'm linking them right now, real fast before we go. And then another one.
They're actually in the description already, so I already put them in.
I have a couple more.
Okay, but you haven't linked them.
Yep, that's why I'm doing it now.
Are we gonna get copyright struck?
I'm just showing the picture or the thumbnails.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
He wasn't going to play any of them yet.
Joe.
And then the last one was like 5 computer scientists who changed programming. Yep, forever.
Oh, really? Can you play
that
a
one for you?
Can you play a little bit? Or just spot through
it backstage? I don't.
Well, can you spot through it so we can see who they are? You got the lady who invented bugs. Invented the word bug. I guess there was an actual bug in a computer. What was her name? God, I should remember her name. She's probably the very first programmer.
Talk about the lady in the Navy who coined the word bug.
Yeah, and yeah.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember. Is her first name Harriet?
No, it's Ada Lovelace.
Ada Lovelace. That's not the one I remember. Anyway.
Yeah, and they actually found a bug in one of their relays, and so she came up with the bug. Yeah, there she is. Or no, wait a minute.
Grace Hopper.
Oh, that's Hopper. Maybe it was Hopper. No, okay, Lovelace was. Yeah, she was from 1815. It was Hopper that invented the word bug. I'm sorry. But yeah, some cool shit. Yes, and I remember COBOL. COBOL is the worst language they ever thought of. It's just absolutely horrible. Oh my God, it's Topdawg.
There's a thing scheduled at 7 p.m. Central at Science Side Up. That's Maddie's channel, Science Side Up, reacting to AIG's climate seminar. I totally forgot about that. So I'm going to grab the link. Topdawg put it in the side chat. I'll just put it in the private chat. It's
Yep, I'm looking at it. Upcoming live stream. It is reacting to AIG's climate seminar.
I totally intend to watch that.
So are they? Let me guess. AIG doesn't believe that we're fucking with the climate.
I think there's a good chance that they may be wrong about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so reacting to climate seminar.
Someday, Speeder, we need to invite Quantum John to teach us all about this computer stuff, and
yeah, he could teach
he could teach us quantum theory, and
yeah, he could teach us about the binary code for the letter A, 0100. I mean 01 or some fucking thing.
They call him Quantum John, so he must know all this shit. I would love to.
I just want to point out to John that it's 01000001. You're missing 2 zeros, you motherfucker. If you're going to pretend you know something, at least get it right.
Yeah.
Did you know that you can convert hexadecimal to binary very easily?
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah. I guess we all learned that.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, guys.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes.
Real quick, I'm gonna. I don't know. I feel like checking LPB's channel and seeing if he's posted anything.
Oh, he posted something. He did post a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was 7 hours ago.
Yeah, it wasn't about our little takedown of John that we did yesterday. I thought he did a pretty good job on the miRNA thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. because he really thought he had something there, and he keeps bringing it up, even though, God, he should have fact checked it. You know, why didn't he fact check it?
Nothing yet. Oh well.
Yeah, my poor little duckling.
By the way, I just completed the Fort Worth Star Telegram daily crossword.
Oh, good.
Oh, what'd you win?
The satisfaction of knowing I completed the Fort Worth Telegram.
Oh, good.
Daily crossword.
Sometimes the satisfaction is enough.
Before we shoot her in the head, I just want to show this. What's happening?
The lottery ticket?
No, I want to show this thing. Just want to show this thumbnail.
The thing 2011?
The thing that's coming up tonight, Sign Side Up.
Oh.
At 7 p.m. Central Time, which is the only time zone, as we all know. Yep.
Correct. Yep.
You guys get up so late in California. I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you.
It's that liberal California mentality.
Yep. So let's shoot her in the head. Can we shoot her in the head?
Yeah. How about we shoot her in the leg?
Yeah, that way they'll survive another day and we can shoot them again tomorrow.
Well, that's the kind of shit they would do in the Old Testament. You know, in the New Testament, we shoot it in the head so that it doesn't suffer. Okay.
Well, we need to shoot it in the leg because we're waiting on LPP to shoot it in the head.
Okay, we're going.
Yep. Stay curious.
Goodbye, cruel world.